Welcome to the Ideal Investor Show. Join us on the journey to financial success. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ideal Investor Show. And today's episode is a little bit, more depth and typically more a struggle for me, but I still want to bring it to you because I don't know if there are more other people that have similar struggles that I have. So the title today is Emotional Intelligence in Wealth Building. But before we get to that, if you're serious about growing into a financially free version of yourself, our paid Substack newsletter has mindset exercises and wealth building blueprints that grow with you and much, much, much more. So if you haven't already, I would like to encourage you to become a paid subscriber, partially because you, with the money that you're giving us, which is less than $2 a week, you would basically help us and will help us to actually bring you content, bring you videos, bring you the things that we are generating and developing, and pay for the team that actually brings all this great content to you. Now, one of the things that I kind of like to say and have realized and accepted for myself is that you can't whiteboard your way out of fear. And in a way, I mean, it's a little bit cheeky, and I haven't really tried it literally, but something like that, right? Like thinking or arguing that everything can be logically explained and so forth. But then when you really start listening into yourself, especially when you feel that something is wrong or things aren't going the way they should or you were hoping to, then you will quickly realize that is not really just a thing that is data and information and knowledge and stuff you look up. So what I've actually done, and I'm super, super grateful, is, and I know the term might sound a little woo-woo, but it's called emotional work with my friend Terry Lay, who we are also putting the Abundant Money Mindset program on again at the end of the year. And what she has shown me is like, what can I do? What kind of exercises can I do when I feel down? How can I change my mindset from negative and maybe depressed and in not a good mood to something more positive, and how to take that positivity and turn it into energy and turn it into something that actually generates results. And I am a big fan to say you start with yourself. And when you have found ways that work, sometimes on your own and sometimes with the help from people like Terry, then you can turn around and say, okay, well, I have two options now. If I encounter a mentoring client in our program who is in a similar space where I have been, I can obviously relate through coaching and mentoring how it was for me and what I did about it that worked for me. And if that's not successful or it doesn't resonate because we're all different, then it's great to have the network. Then it's great to be able to say, well, maybe you should talk to Terry. I especially like this when it comes to, sometimes it's a gender thing. Like, if you're having an issue with authority by males, regardless why that is, and you're resonating much better when you're engaging with a female, right? I could never do that, but Terry can. Right, so that's just one example, and that has worked very well for me. What is also a component is we oftentimes I am encountering people that come to our program, and before they even join, and I'm asking them, can you explain a little bit to me when you said earlier that you have been looking at investing into real estate and investing into like passive income opportunities, that you've been looking at this for years and never done it. Why haven't you done it? And one of the answers I oftentimes hear is, well, I haven't done it because I'm afraid that I might make a mistake and I either lose all my money or a significant amount of my money, or it doesn't work, and all those kind of things, which are also certain fears that, yes, you can run, numbers and spreadsheets and data all day long. That's actually a term that exists in the industry. We call that analysis paralysis. And part of it is to think, well, there's always an even better deal out there. But a lot of it is also to acknowledge it's not chasing the very best deal or the better deal than the one that you just analyzed. It's basically a crutch to say, well, I'm really afraid, so I want to make sure that I did all my homework. And to kind of paper over the fear, you're running another set of data on another spreadsheet. And what that does is you never really get into action. You're never really going to even inquire about the property. You not have anybody, like what I do oftentimes with our clients, especially when it's the first property, to say, well, let's call them together. And admittedly, I'm oftentimes the one who is actually leading the conversation, and our client is relatively passive, observing and listening. But when you're part of it, the fear is overcome. You can see that it's normal people on the other end, that you can ask normal questions, that typically, because they want to sell something, they're willing to entertain almost any question that you might have. And so what we're really striving for is that you gain the logical awareness, the awareness of all the data relevant to identify a good deal, a good investment, a good opportunity. And then also gain the emotional maturity to put yourself in the right frame. And that can be the right frame of confidence, the right frame of how you're actually engaging in a conversation, in a call that you make when you want to make an offer or when you inquire. And in the bigger picture, why are you actually doing the investing that you're doing, and what is exactly your goal in the context of reaching the time freedom point? So those are a lot of things that have a logical component, like the time freedom point is a number of passive income per month. But it's also an emotion and a feeling on how will that feel when you know that you no longer have to work or exchange time for money, and you have the money coming in from your previous investments anyway, regardless where you are. So those are things to consider, and I want you to be aware we have great resources. If you catch yourself to be somebody who really is intrigued in real estate investing or investing in general, and building a legacy and having a passive income portfolio that allows you to travel and have reached the time freedom point, but there is some fear nagging at you, reach out to us. Let's talk about it, and let's, if nothing else, hook you up with the necessary resources that can help you to overcome that fear before you actually really joining the program to invest. Or you can join the program with my help and then take care of the resources so you get your logical and your emotional side both taken care of while you're building your portfolio. So that's it for today. Be well and stay safe, and I talk to you tomorrow.